Okay, so this is something I've been working on for like 2 or 3 weeks. It's a new Pong Circuit. So, what it is it's just, it has 4 relays, and let's start looking at number 1. Let's assume that the relay is on and this relay number 4 is off. If you pick up this switch, the relay will turn off and the motor will start moving this way. And if it touches this, it will turn on that relay, because you have to turn it off to make the motor go this way. So it will move and it will turn the relay on, and then the relay will start moving this way. Now if it goes too far and it touches this one, that will turn on this relay, which will do a bunch of things. It will, first off, it will turn off the system, and it will also do a bunch of, it'll also do some other things, but I'll explain that in a little bit. Let's talk about this first. So how this works is that this is just one of those relays, and I'm going to have this, and it's probably going to be with a resistor, and probably with a resistor to get the timing right, but it's going to be hooked up to this relay so that it stays on a little bit after the circuit is completely shut off, and that's so that even if the system's shut off, it can still make this go back to center. So what this one does is it turns on, and then these 2 contacts separate, which turns this relay off, which makes it move the opposite direction. And now I'll explain what happens if this circuit. This is a smart circuit. So let's assume this relay is off. No, let's assume this relay is on, and this relay is on. So I'll lift this switch, and as you lift this switch, when this is in normally closed, this switch and this switch, I'm gonna figure out a way to make that a single switch. And so let's just assume that this capacitor right here, God, 1 second, let's assume this relay is on and this relay is on. When you pull this, I'm just going to explain how it gets on first. So if you pull this up, then if the charge in the capacitor is positive, it will be able to turn this relay on. But if it isn't positive, it will stay off. And I can achieve this 50-50 chance by having AC 120 volts always going through this capacitor, and it only stops going when this switch is picked up, because this is going to be the same switch. And then it's set through a diode, and I don't I don't really know if it has to be plus or minus right now to go through the diode, but I just know that it's a 50-50 chance that it will be whatever it needs to be to turn on this relay. If that relay turns on while this motor is moving this way, because there's a 0 chance that it will happen when the motor is moving this way. So it will happen when it's going this way. And at that time, when it touches this, so what it will do is it will first it will turn this relay on, but another set of contacts right here goes on these contacts, so that this relay but these contacts go on these contacts so that this relay doesn't turn off, so that the motor will still go this way, and that's how it will get back to center. So how you lose is because you're playing against the relays, not against another person. How you lose is if you wait too long and it touches number 1. And how you win is if let's just assume if the capacitor's charge is positive. You'll win if it's positive, but if it's negative, it will just bounce back and you'll have another shot. So it's like, it'll go over here, and if it's not, if it won't go through the diode, it will just send the motor going back at you. But if it will go through the diode, then it will touch this, it will turn the system off, and it will center the motor back up, and it will like have another sign that says you win or something, and a sign that says you lose when certain things happen. And I'm not good at explaining stuff, so this is really hard for me, and I know I'm not explaining it well enough. Let's just see if I can get a good shot of all of this diagram. And here's the last circuit you'll need. This right here is a potentiometer, and this is the arm of it. That goes across the leads of the battery, and the center tap of the battery goes to one end of the coil, and the other end of the coil goes to the sweeper on the potentiometer. And with that in this circuit, it will make the dot move back and forth. And I'll need to calibrate it so that when it touches one of these, it hits a paddle. That's it. Took me 2 or 3 weeks to get this. Bye.